Hello, fellow walkers. Hello, hello, and welcome. So today, what we have Kaldheim. We have a draft on Kaldheim, and since our first one didn't go so well, that's a nice way to enter the ring, indeed, Midge. Thank you. So yeah, we have a Kaldheim draft. We'll see if we go farther than we went on Thursday, because 1-3 is not exactly the most perfect score to target. But still, I was watching a draft from LSV, and he had 0-3 on the first draft. So okay, I'm not that bad. Just kidding. So either way, logistics. First of all, if you don't know me, I'm Diogo. So I'm on this journey to learn Magic, to learn and to improve myself through Magic and through other things. The idea here is to build up a community where we discuss life strategy, Magic strategy, how those two intertwine, and so on. So if you're interested, you can find me elsewhere in other social networks. You can also follow me on Twitch to know when I go live, and that's about it for today. So right now, since I'm close to affiliate and close enough, Mitch. Yeah, probably I should have how do I call it? An alias for socials, like social, so that the when you do that, it works. Yeah, that's something for me to work later. So yeah, as I was saying, since I'm almost affiliate, I want to essentially, that also enables me to improve the quality of the kind of stuff that I do here. So I want to push that through. So probably we will have this stream today, which is as planned. So on Sundays we will typically be reviewing either an aspect thank you, Mitch, either an aspect of strategy, like if I'm trying to implement something on how I manage myself, we might talk about that. Other times we will discuss or we will review an article around Magic, and that's the case for today. And tomorrow we will have an extraordinary stream where we will review a tool that I've been working on. I've mentioned it a few times already. It's like a spreadsheet where I put a lot of information around the current set, targeting limited. And the idea is that it will generate a bunch of essential or cool visualizations and statistics for us to have a grasp of how a set works, what are the best cards, the worst cards, and so on. Yeah, I saw, Mitch. I saw that you actually put me on a team, right? But I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely interested in participating more in tournaments, but right now the time has been lacking. And I also need to study a bit more Constructed. So, and this delay on me getting to affiliate, it's due to a lot of issues, but during January, due to COVID, I skipped a few, at least 1 week, because I simply had to, and that's the plan. Yeah, Mitch, but it's actually a very good idea, because it will be interesting to test with other people and to discuss. I think it's really, really cool. We can even use the Discord channels or tables or whatever, rooms, I guess that's what they call it there. So yeah, it looks quite interesting. I need to keep an eye on the calendar for events, for sure. So, let us start looking... Okay, cool. Okay, so you already thought about that all, as usual. So, without further ado, let's start reviewing the article that we have for today. So, I was mentioning a specific article from Paulo Vitor Damo da Rosa, the 8 pitfalls, 8 biases that are making you worse at Magic. But I guess, so what we'll do, I found this article very recently from Brian DeMars, avoiding pitfalls. Let me just put this a bit bigger, otherwise it's like crazy. You cannot really see it. Okay. So, which is this? Avoiding the pitfalls of tilt. And I found so much in this article that I felt the need to push it forward and prioritize it. The idea will be to go with this article this week. Then we'll have a bunch of articles from Paulo that we'll be reviewing in the coming weeks. In the meantime, there might be one or other that comes up, and we will look into that. And so that at some point we review all the level 1 articles from Reed Duke. That's if you haven't heard it yet, if I haven't told you yet, this is actually probably the reason I got back to Magic last year. I read this series of articles which are compiled. Hey, AG Magic, I wished I was Draft God. But if you want Draft God, like, you need to check Ben S stream and so on. Because, no, but I'm kidding. I'm trying to do my best to learn and to do whatever. Lol. Thank you, guys. And AG Magic, I'm glad you joined us because we have a very interesting article to review today, full of good stuff. Really. So yeah, as I was saying, this level 1 book, which like the aggregation, was actually, it's probably why I'm still playing Magic, because it showed to me how deep the game can go. It showed to me also there are several strategies that applicable to Magic that are also applicable to life and so on. Thank you, AG Magic. No problem. Thank you. So yeah. For today, avoiding the pitfalls of tilt. This is the article that we're reviewing. So let me just put this a bit bigger. Okay, I guess like this it's good enough. This article then, it's by Brian DeMars, and it presents several strategies and rationale for why you should work on improving how you cope with tilt. Okay. Of course, you probably all are aware of what tilt is. It's like there's a very interesting definition in this article. Spectrum. It's like the spectrum of irrational and detrimental behaviors that are derived from frustration. And of course, Magic brings us a lot of frustration. Either it's because we didn't open one of the bombs and all our opponents did in the draft. Either if it's because our removal is not lining up with our opponent's threats. Mana screwed, mana flooded, so there's no shortage on sources for tilt in Magic, for sure. And it's especially relevant when you feel like you prepared a lot for a given tournament, for a given moment, right? You feel like you did everything you could, and then luck is not on your side, so you become frustrated, and that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You feed your frustration, feeds your bad luck, which feeds your frustration, and so on and so forth. So that's there. You need to have strategies to come out of that loop, right? So why does Magic causes tilt? We were already discussing a bit of that. So Magic has a lot of variance. It's not chess, and even chess, because of how complex it is, for the human brain, it's like everything is deterministic, all the information is on board, but there's still some degree of variance that our early plays induce into the later game. But I'm no expert on chess, so you need to trust me on that. Either way, Magic has a bunch more variance. And it's funny because the variance, it's disguised in the game as skill, because I play the land, and you take a lot of actions, and those actions, even though many times are following just the standard procedure of playing Magic, you feel like you get agency. Okay, so even though you're drawing randomly from a deck, you feel like you have agency on the outcome of a game, and that's not always the case, right? By definition, you're drawing from a random pile of cards, which are not all the same, so you get variance either way. Your opponent also gets variance, so there's a lot to consider. And actually, there are a few quotes in here which are really interesting. There's this one: "It is possible to commit mistakes and still lose. That's not weakness. That is life." And that's really that nails to the point, to this point of Magic being quite similar to life in a lot of aspects. And this understanding of variance, it's really important in both fields. Just because in life you might be committed to being the best, or working really long hours on doing something, on developing a specific skill, on delivering a specific, building a tool, whatever, something like that, right? And you might not get it, and you need mechanisms to cope with that. From time to time we discuss this, which is you need to do as much, or if you're targeting a specific goal, like I want to make top 8 in a pro tour or whatever. It's like you cannot. There's not a direct correlation between you practicing and being the most prepared that you can be and achieving top 8. It's not like a direct correlation, right? You need to understand that what you need to do is put yourself in the best position possible to get lucky, to essentially for opportunities to come to you. So you need there's a saying, luck finds the bold, right? You need to be bold. You need to put yourself in as many situations as possible, so that one of the doors that you try to open, it will open. So there's a lot of probability in this. So let's move on. There's this phenomenon, of course. It's like a derivation of what we discussed previously. You cannot simply play perfect enough to achieve the outcome you desire. So no perfect correlation. The more you practice, the more you get. That's not exactly how it happens. You need to put yourself in as many situations as possible, so that the more times you practice well, the more likely you are to at some point get successful. That's the key part. Yeah, of course, as we discussed, the principal mechanism in Magic that determines who has what is drawing cards. So there's still things that you can do to manage that, like mulliganing, building your deck, sideboarding according to your opponent's deck, and so on. Another quote that the author uses here, and yeah, I'm atheist, but this is very, very interesting. God grant me serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. This is a long way of talking about problems and circumstances. This is a mental model that I evoke a lot, and it's a very liberating one. Once you can, and if you're not familiar, problems are essentially the things that you can influence, that you can do something about, action upon, and circumstances are essentially environmental conditionants to what you can achieve, things that you cannot really change. Let's say that you have a major accident and, well, this is a bit grim, but you have a major accident and you lose control of your legs. Okay, that's a big issue. You will mourn for a bit, but at some point, and this happens to people that face this kind of situation, it's like you learn, you adjust to the circumstances, and instead of that, you start focusing on the problems that you can actually tackle. Okay, but this is applicable to everyone, right? If this COVID, this pandemic, it's a circumstance, so let us adjust. So on my case specifically, and I believe on many others cases, I actually started streaming, and I'm exploring. I'm trying to learn about different things that I could not find the time previously because we did not have the pandemic. So it's a bit of if God throws you lemons, make lemonade, right? You adjust to recognize what are the circumstances, what are the problems, and focus your energy on the problems. That is very, very interesting in my opinion, honestly. It might seem simple, but it's really liberating. So yeah, then he breaks down, like, there are some different situations, like you might have no amount of at some points no amount of technical expertise will allow you to overcome whatever your opponent is doing. In other times, that technical expertise will allow you to go over what your opponent is doing, even if they are having some favorable plays for them. But understanding the distinction is the key part for many aspects. So to avoid tilting, to maximize the chance that you learn from the situations that you can. So what could I have done differently? Maybe in situation A I couldn't, situation B I could, and that is definitely critical. Another thing is, and I guess this is a bit obvious, everyone tilts, and in their own ways, but everyone goes through these feelings. We are hardwired with a specific kind of response towards frustration, and that is manifested as tilt. Yeah, and the thing about the best players is that they are better at identifying these situations, and they typically already have a few strategies to overcome them. The spreadsheet, yes, for sure, AG Magic. The limited one, I am. So I'm making essentially everything available. The learning resources are available, which is probably the type that the spreadsheet that you're referring to. These articles collections, it's also available under the command articles. So let me. So this is also available. You have in there the links for the video recordings that I post on YouTube, if you're interested, and the limited will also be available, so no worries there. So where were we? Yes, the best players at Magic and the ones that are consistently good at the game, and consistency, as we were discussing, it's virtually the only weapon that you have to fight variance, right? They have a series of strategies to cope with these situations. They are very good at identifying them and at coping with them, right? And in other situations you can only mask it, but that's also important, because if your opponent feels like you're tilting, it's easier to like push the advantage, and they might actually concede. I think it was Party Zeke who mentioned the situation. Yes, he was the one. He mentioned the situation where the opponent conceded, but they actually did not lose that in that moment of time. There's if they are tilting in some way, and I'm not saying that Party Zeke pushed the advantage, but maybe he did. If he did correctly, I believe, because Magic is a strategy game, and you have several resources, right? In Arena you have the timer. That's something that you don't have in paper, but in paper you are facing your opponent, right? And there's a lot more visually, a lot more information besides the battlefield. So that's also important to consider. Again, we already listed some of these. There is a lot of situations that might take you to a state of tilt, but there are a lot of aspects of Magic that actually can you determine if you win or lose, that are beyond your control. Those are circumstances, as we were discussing. Recognizing when you're tilted. So this is like the first step. Knowing is half the battle. There's this saying, let me just check if I did not miss anything. No, I did not. And there's a lot to unpack in this sentence, actually, because the thing about dealing with tilt, it's like it's very similar actually to meditation. I'm not sure if anyone over chat ever meditated or for a long haul. Like there's a ton of apps for your phone that you can try, and they have these self-guided meditations. That's actually what I use. I find it really, really interesting. But there are a few concepts that are common to every one of the most well-known methods, I guess, which is the trick is to first understand that feelings are ephemeral, so they come and go, and they are not that relevant for the grand scheme of things. If you feel like you're angry at something, you might actually drop completely that feeling if you don't keep on ruminating on it, if you don't keep on feeding it, right? If you at some point you stop and you think, I'm feeling angry, so interesting. This might seem a bit stupid, actually. It might seem a bit dumb, but it really works. Once you recognize the feeling and you let it flow through, instead of grasping it and getting in the way of it, leaving, you're doing yourself a disservice. Once you understand that, you let it flow, you are able to get back to the present, like refreshed, and that the present is actually the only reality that is. This is seeming like a philosophy stream right now, but philosophy, psychology, magic, all those disciplines come together here, I guess. So you get yourself back to the present. A good strategy to go through this process is like breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth in long respirations. Okay, and you do this like for 10 times or whatever, and you think about this loop, these 3 stages, and you will actually notice that you are better, and you become better the more times you practice these kind of things. It's related to this. It's there's an interesting quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which I use a lot. I told it to AG Magic during one of his streams. It's I never lose, I either win or learn, right? So you understand, from you understanding that even though things are not working well for you, if you look at it as an opportunity to learn instead of okay, I'm just gonna lose, I'm no good, I never get lucky. So all those, if you replace that kind of mindset by I will learn from this, you become better, which is related to growth mindset. So moving on, Tilt, of course, it has several impacts. So one of them is obvious. It's like, hey, Partizik, welcome, Partiziki. Sorry. How are you doing? We were just now mentioning you, how you oh yeah, because you the situation that you mentioned, that your opponent conceded on a game that they did not lose, right? But well, today we're reviewing an article around tilting. Probably you're already very good at dealing with tilting with your positivity and all that, but at least for me this is quite helpful. So yeah, one of the impacts. Well, you work out, damn. That's cool. Their ability to think clearly and make the strongest decisions is compromised. So this is one of the impacts of getting tilted. You stop thinking clearly, so your gameplay gets hindered by it. And then there's this. One thing is identifying that you're tilting. Another thing is, what kind of response do you have to that moment when you identify tilting? If you simply take the feeling, take the moment, and put in the bucket of oh, there was nothing I could do, you're rationalizing your losses as unlucky moments, essentially. So you're attributing all of it to variance. That's actually not the right approach, right? We were discussing about circumstances and problems. Something really critical is to understand which are which. Sometimes in Magic that's hard, so you need to, when doing a retrospective, it's helpful, and you see that from time to time when we review the draft logs. You should try to understand if your decision was correct based on the information that you had at the moment. That's very important. Yeah, and this is actually, I heard it somewhere recently that like at some point when Reed Duke won like a big championship or whatever, all his friends were going for dinner, but he went to the bathroom and went over all his games and to try to pinpoint and to identify every mistake that he did so that he could improve. And being courageous to even if you win, either if you win or you lose, that's actually just a part of the signal that you get from a game. There's a lot more things that you can do. So being courageous to look back and to understand what you did right, what you did wrong, and why being courageous. Because sometimes it's just easier to say, "Oh, Diogo, you did all you could. You did fine." That's not really growth mindset. You're not growing from that moment. You're just making it easier for you, and that's not the best thing you can do. And then the author, since he played Magic for like 20 years competitively, there's an interesting aspect on tilting that he presents, which is even, and this is like I will quote, "Even the worst bad beats or misplays eventually fade away into the static of the present and future." So in the grand scheme of things, you might be tilting about a specific game. To be honest, it won't matter. In the long run, it won't matter. And he mentions that a bit below. He never looked back, and I guess that's the same situation for you, at least typically. He never looked back, and I was totally justified for tilting in that game. No, that's it's much more likely that he feels something, and you feel something like, "I can't believe I was so upset about losing a close Magic card game match 10 years ago." Because after a while, it's like these bad feelings that tilting feeds itself on, and tilting feeds those feelings too. They will compromise a lot of things, not only your gameplay but also your enjoyment of the game. And actually enjoying the game is typically more important than whatever else. Those are the things that you keep with yourself, right? So I have yeah, exactly. So it's still important to achieve for a better version of yourself and to work towards that goal. But understand that if you have some step backs, those are fine. Those will happen. You just need to push through them. Again, when you face variance, it's all about consistency. Okay? Of course, these kind of situations dissolve into meaninglessness. Jesus, English sometimes it's okay. I cannot complain because Portuguese is not better. And something interesting to also like one of the tools that you might have on your pocket for these tilting moments is like, put yourself on the perspective of your future self, and this is a useful strategy for many other things. But for this kind of strategy, you will put yourself in like 10 years time or whatever, and you might not actually be playing Magic. You might have actually made top 8 afterwards, but because you kept at it. So there's a lot of things that might happen, and if you find it difficult to put yourself on your shoes 10 years from now, just look back 10 years and see how much your priorities changed, how much your life changed. So a lot. This kind of perspective can help a lot in understanding how big or how small these kind of issues are. Actually, I recalled something else, but whatever. So again, besides tilting, making you give up equity on gameplay quality and on your chances to winning a game, it actually also detracts you from personal enjoyment, which is Hey, you're safe. Thank you. You're handsome too. You're very handsome, and your dishes are really tasty too. Or I imagine they are tasty. At least my eyes tell me so. So thank you. So yeah. Again, and there are these recurring topics, right? You understanding the difference between the things that you can influence and cannot influence, so circumstances versus problems, and and avoiding tilting might lead you to, again, oh, what a waste of a fun weekend, because I just spend it feeling tilted. That's feeling bad, feeling frustrated. That's no fun. So develop your strategies, because tilting or fighting against tilt can maximize the fun, the objectivity, and the results that you get from Magic. And yeah, I have here the note that as parties. You should also check out Partiziki's stream, because he's always on a positive vibe, and is actually starting to give some like shepherding to people, not only on Magic strategy and all of that, but also like built into that positivity. So that's a nice streamer to look at if you want to see a good way to look at Magic, I would say. So to summarize, essentially 3 key strategies. We discussed several others across the article. Don't beat yourself up too much over games lost. Magic is a game of variance, again. Learn from mistakes, and be objective about what you could do and you couldn't do to win a match. And these are easily summarized in like these 3 mental models that you can try to have present. Sometimes I even write this kind of stuff in a post-it and keep near my desk, so that I look at them several times per day, increasing the chance that I look at them when I feel tilted or when I feel frustrated, generally speaking. So understand variance, okay? You will lose, you will win. That's life, that's Magic. Growth mindset, keep yourself in a mindset that is prone to learning. So you should feel like you should be humble. If you're not humble with your skills and with others, you cut the possibilities for learning. And the concept about around problems versus circumstances. Let me just check, because my music stopped. Okay, there you go. Again, because Magic can bring you personal improvement, learning, and winning. So you should, if you want to maximize for that, it is definitely useful to reduce the bad effects of tilting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's article. Again, you can get the full list of articles. You can even suggest articles for future sessions, if you want, over Twitter, Instagram, or whatever you want. So I will make after I upload this to YouTube. I'll also post here the link for the recording, so that you can take a look into that if you're interested. But either way, the article, it's also useful for you to digest it, to go through it and understand, and put your own perspective on it, right? Okay, cool. So we want to get into Magic now, because it's time for Kaldheim. Okay. We have here some packs that will open closer to the end of or after we draft. I also did a sealed draft, so if at some point you're interested in having me doing a sealed tournament or whatever, it's not a sealed draft, it's a sealed event, just let me know. either way, since the only limited ranking mechanism are these premier drafts, so best of one, we will do one for sure. Let us purchase it and let's start. So now we get to the fun part. Up to now, I was like the boring preacher, right? Always repeating those kind of cheesy things. No, that's not my goal, but I believe if you're interested on getting better, I think it's a very helpful thing to broaden your view over Magic. Battle for Breadguard is our rare, so it creates a token, creates another token, then we choose number of artifact tokens or creature tokens you control with different names for each of them, creates a token that's a copy of it. Okay, this is not actually one of the best rares. It requires a lot of things to go right, and you might just get 4 tokens for 3 mana. That's not bad, but it's not broken in any way. But this pack altogether is relatively bad. Path to the World tree, if you're doing 5 colors, the effect is not bad, but it's actually also not the best thing ever. It can help you win, but that's about it. Great Hall of Starheim. This is actually a nice card. I like Orzhov. Okay, so and I picked the Orzhov card, but it's still a land. So even if I play black, I might play it and manage to get some white via these kind of cards. So this pack, it doesn't have much of a payoff for white or black. There's Ingarun Highs, which is an interesting card. It's like a B-. Crush the Weak is interesting. It's definitely interesting because if you have giant creatures, this can help you kill your opponent or kill a lot of your opponent's board. And you can foretell, like play it on turn 3 plus something of yours. So altogether an interesting card. Create 2 red dwarfs, whatever. So I guess I will, for now, get Ingarun Highs. It's blue. It doesn't ask much from me. The Wrath effect is a bit conditional on what the rest of my deck looks like. This is typically a card that will find its place on any blue deck, I guess. Kaya's Onslaught is quite interesting. It's an instant so it's a combat trick that gives double strike. If you happen to pair it with trample, is great. It's great. Iron Verdict. It depends. If you're doing aggro, you might not have the creatures that you want to kill getting tapped from your opponent's side. Actually, Boreal Outrider is it's a very good card for green, or a reasonable card. It's also a B-, probably. Not seeing, so Raise the Draugr is a nice card for tribal, but right now I'm more concerned about raw power than trying to get the synergy from the get-go. Since I'm not sure what decks are the best ones out there and which ones are not, there's no need on prioritizing that kind of cards. So we're already at pick 4, so we can start looking for signals. Blizzard Brawl is it's a very good signal for green being open, and green is quite interesting in this format, I believe. Then we have some double spelling cards like Code Spell Cleric, Elderfang Disciple can also help. But I'm not really sure. I won't pick this early a Code Spell Cleric instead of a Blizzard Brawl, because this is too strong of a signal. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature, exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. This is not that bad removal. It's a bit slow, so I'm not really sure if I want to play it. Replicating Ring, not really the kind of card that I want to look for right now. I'm hoping to be able to pick some snow cards later than pick 5. So I guess Fall of the Imposter might be considered here. We're seeing some green, which is good, and we're seeing some white. Kaldheim Draft, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It enables me to cast this for 2, for example. So yeah. Oh, Bloodline Pretender. You choose a creature type, so if I end up with white green, I might end up with a lot of warriors, I guess. I think there's elves in green for sure, but I'm not sure if I will find my place into black green right now. We're not seeing black, we're seeing some green. This Guardian Gladewalker is quite good, but Bloodline Pretender, you will have quite some cards of a given type. Right now I have very few because I have one creature essentially, but this is also a changeling, so it counts as a creature type. Mistwalker, that's a late Mistwalker. This is like a role player in many different decks. Right now we're still not 100% sure of where we will land. There's Tormentor's Helm, which is a nice equipment for the white red dwarfs and other decks too, but it performs the best there. I could also pick an Arctic Tree Line. If I end up with green, that might be good. But Mistwalker, I'm still not sure if that's a signal to me that blue is open. This is pick 8, so before the wheel. Untap, Axguard, Braggart. This is an interesting card with both, because you always have the threat of activation. Your opponent is not really sure if you'll dump the mana here, so he might block, or he might leave some creatures behind to prevent you from using its ability. Despite that, I'm still not sure if I will be attacking that much, so I will let it go through for now. Tap target creature, Gold Mod Champion, Valor the Worthy. Leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying. So it actually sort of replaces itself. It's a creature with flying. If I end up with a go white strategy, this will be an interesting card. I'm not else. It's like a pick between these 3, I would say. The land and the other 2. Some late red cards. At least Dwarven Reinforcements, it's an interesting red card. Some blue cards. Bryn Barrow Intruder is nice. Depart the Realm is it's also a very cheap way of a tempo play. You can use it as a tempo play. Wings of oh, come on. Why did you pick this early? Okay, a lot of green. This Elderleaf Mentor is quite good for this kind of deck. It spreads out my threats a bit more. So right now I'm more inclined into green-white, because even though it's not, or at least it doesn't seem to be one of the most supported decks, but see, we're seeing some really good cards for that. This is one of the best white commons, because it works well with many kinds of strategy, double spelling. So by double spelling, it also interacts well with foretelling cards, and so on. Starheim Courser, 2/2, reach, and is every creature type. Arachnoform, that's cool. That might be useful. It's like the Spider-Man. of Kaldheim. Whatever. I like that pick. I'm still not sure about these enchantments. The thing about these kind of cards is they compete with places for your creatures, so it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, or it might be. Dragonkin Berserker. Boast abilities you control, blah 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 blah. For each dragon, but boasting these once can be quite good. This is a very interesting card. I just don't think that we're in a position to take advantage of red. We were seeing some red, but I was seeing much less black, so I won't pick a black card. Cardor, unfortunately, it uses both of those colors, so despite being quite good. So God Spell Cleric might be the pick. There's also an Alpine Meadow. The thing, it's slightly easier to splash these kind of cards, so I'm not sure. I might actually pick the Dragonkin Berserker and see if I want to splash for red. It's a very powerful card, I believe. Frostfire Arcanist. It might be. It's like a reward for having multiples, but I wouldn't prioritize it. Beskir Shieldmate. Draw a card. As Trample. So Rune of Might is actually an interesting card. Is an equipment, so those are auras. I don't have equipments, but these cards can certainly do some work. Other than that, it's like there's a Starheim Courser and a Beskir Shieldmate for our deck. I'm happy on picking a good green card and try to disincentivize my neighbors to my right from playing green. I don't have that much snow, so this Eyesight Troll would be great in such kind of deck. This Divine Gambit is a weird one, right? It's a weird one. Fights up to one target creature you don't control, blah 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 blah. Add 2, you gain life equal to the strongest, whatever. So this is an interesting card. Not really sure if I want to splash for it, because I want this to be like a turn 4 play or something, so it might be splashable. Glittering Frost can turn one of my lands into a snowland. I think I will try to see how awkward this Divine Gambit is. So if it doesn't work, I will know. I can drop it very early in my Kaldheim drafts. Okay, this is a nice snow payoff. But it's also black, so it's normal for us to be seeing some black cards on this in counterclockwise packs passing. As they pass the packs counterclockwise. Jesus, what's going on? But Withered Crown is good. Hailstorm Valkyrie is good in a snow deck. Other than that, 4 mana for a 2/2 flying trample. So trample isn't doing anything on a 2/2. Oh damn! There was the angel there. Oh, I wanted to pick the angel. Oh, let's see if it wheels. Either way, a Redain. A Redain? Really? Oh. The backside of this is really good. If a card like Battlefield Raptor wheels, I'm ecstatic. That's a really cool card to wheel. This is an okay vehicle. I wouldn't replace a creature slot for a vehicle slot in this deck, but a Redain, yes. And the thing about this spell, it's the shield is actually better, generally speaking, than the other side. Oh, another Great Hall. These cards are great. Jesus, 4 mana because you tap and sacrifice this land, and you get a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance. Not too shabby. It's still only at the time you could cast a sorcery, but it can do some work. Oh, but Okay. I know I'm saying all of that, but it requires me to pick black. And I'm not really in a position to pick that much black. Now that I realize what I'm saying. Okay. Either way, we're definitely seeing a lot of black, but we're also passing all this black to our neighbors to our right? So, blue, I think it's out of the question. We're still not sure if we'll splash for Dragon King Berserker. Probably not. No. The land. Probably the land. Funny thing is, on this direction, we're not receiving that much green, actually. We picked some early green, but I think we will get paid off on pack 3. At least that's what I expect. Given all of that, what works best with our kind of strategy? Probably a Divine Gambit, just as a late play. King Gerald's Revenge. Target creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you controlled and gains trample. It must be blocked this turn if able. So this is a nice payoff for Go Wide. Not really sure. We definitely have some Go Wide strategy enablers in this deck, but it's not the best thing ever. This is another aura and not one of the best ones. So Baskir Shieldmate, I need some early play. I need more turn 2 plays or 2 drops. Revitalize is not great. Your opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this was cheaper, it would get played more often. Since it's not, okay, I will leave this as a potential playable. Iron Verdict might still get played. My opponent might be trying to kill off my creatures. Raven Wings, I guess. It's a nice target for our rune. Infernal Pet if we happen to do the double spelling thing. And another red card. So this Search for Glory is actually... It's reasonable if you have some snow, I believe, but it's not the best thing ever. And it just gains life from the snow, so it's not exactly worth a spot in our deck. Okay, do we have green that is worthy? So this is a sideboard card. There's this Draugr's Helm is good. Augury Raven is good. I think I'll pick the Horizon Seeker. It's a decent body, and being able to boast with it and pick it and dumping more lands on the battlefield can be quite good. I don't want to play a Colossal Plow. This card is way too expensive to crew, so it's typically a dead card in your deck. Master Scald. Artifact or enchantment. I don't have that many of those. Carful Kennel Master. This card is actually decent. It's actually quite decent. We have some spells for the second turn, like the your Foretell cards are typically, you can consider them as 2 drops typically, unless you're playing against an aggro deck. That in those situations you might want to shuffle things a bit. Now we have decisions to make. Rune of Mortality is actually quite good. We also have a Sarulf's Packmate, which is good. Creature gets +2/+0 and it dies, return to battlefield under its owner's control. And this is like a combat trick for black. I guess I'll need to stick to my colors Oh, I'm just thinking that black would have worked so well with our Great Halls of Starnheim. They sort of enable themselves, but taking land slots for that kind of cards is not great. It's not great at all. Doomscar Oracle, we will be doing some double spelling, and it has Foretell, which is nice. So it kind of enables itself in a way. Raven Wings, I don't want another one. Snow-covered plains. I don't have like that kind of synergies going on. Let's push this to the sideboard. Provoke the trolls. Infernal Path. That's a late Infernal Path. We have some good green cards, so we cannot really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we just have 3 black cards. That's a big difference. So we're not seeing that much either. Okay. I picked an Infernal Path because we might actually play black instead of green. if it ends up going that way. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. This is good in an half stack that you typically tend to go wide. Rune of Mortality. I don't think this Jarl is actually quite good. It's quite good. I still I need some 2-drops to fill in my deck. Bound in Gold. Bound in Gold is cool. Warhorn Blast is a... Oh, Jesus. I won't have this wheel. Because this is a nice payoff for going wide. So definitely a good one. But Bound in Gold, we need removal, right? Okay, to the hell. Let's get fancy today and try our Warhorn out. Story Seeker is an interesting 2-drop. Raven Wings, Gold Vein Pick. The issue, well, the drawback about this is you need to pay 2 to get it on the battlefield when compared to the short sword in Zendikar Rising or M21, I believe. Search for Glory is still going around, of course. There's some red. All these cards to create a treasure token. None of these cards are the best. Agimob is still playable, but I guess I will pick a combat trick. And our deck is getting into shape. Still, this Rune of Mortality wheeling the whole table. Maybe we should have went through the black route, and we will take a look as usual after the draft. We will take a look into the draft logs and understand if we come on. White Tormentor's Helm. I should have picked whatever I wanted from there. So Raven Wings, sure. So yeah, we'll look into the draft logs and try to understand if we should have went a different route than this. Because white-black would be awesome. Whatever, I don't really care. Let's pick the uncommon. I'll have few of those. Revitalize. Okay, let's build our deck. It's really cool to be drafting these formats early on, not knowing exactly what you're doing. Okay, let's switch up the view. Oh, I was using the big webcam, so probably you might have missed a few of the cards. I'm sorry about that. Still, Code Spell Cleric, Valor of the Worthy. So cards that I can drop. These cards are actually interesting. Obscured Shieldmate, Story Seeker. I want a few of those. I might not want 2 of these, but might be interesting. Divine Gambit, 2 of them. No. I just want 1 because this is the 2 drop that you want to play on turn 6 or whatever. So only 1. So there's a rune. Do we have equipments? We have Bloodline Pretender. Equipments. We have an artifact, but Rune of Gambit does nothing on that. It's not an equipment. We can still back it up to a land, but we also have the where are them? The flight contraptions. Raven Wings. Do I want to be playing Raven Wings? +1/+0 has flying, it's a bird. So one reason for me to consider Raven Wings, or a few reasons, are Warhorn Blast and not having great ways to interact with flyers. And there's a lot of flyers floating around in Kaldheim. Blizzard Brawl is a way that I have to deal with those. Divine Gambit in a way, but in a weird way, to be honest. Gold Mod Champion. Iron Verdict, I'm not sure if I'll play. Kaya's Onslaught. Let me check my creature count. 15? Do I have other creatures that I can push into the deck? Not really. Besides Master Skald, which interacts with artifacts or enchantments from my graveyard. And so basically the main interaction that it has, or the 2 main interactions that it has, are with removal spell in the form of auras, so enchantments, and sagas, I would say. Removing artifacts is hard, typically for our opponents. So I guess it's not really a priority for this deck. And I want cheap plays. I want to flood out the board. I might need some card drawing effects. So if I have any, I will likely want to keep them. But what I need to drop from this deck are non-creature spells. This Bloodline Pretender, is it doing stuff? We have 6 humans, 4 warriors, 5 clerics. It's still a 3 mana, typically a 3/3, because you'll name your next play probably. Hey Azer, it's doing fine. It's doing fine. It's really interesting to be drafting a new set for sure. It's like, but you need to read a lot. This set has so much text. You spend a while reading cards, I guess. How are you doing? How is it going in the UK? This Bloodline Pretender, it is cool, right? And it's a changeling, so Valor of the Worthy. Oh yeah, yeah. The thing is, so it creates additional bodies. So it's probably a card that I will keep. Let's see what other cards do I have that I could drop. Divine Gambit. I will try to stack my removal just to see which of it I want to keep. I'm happy on keeping these creatures. This Sculptor of Winter, it's a bit nyeh, but I need the creatures. Oh, more about the name, Valor of the Worthy. Oh yeah, because of yes, it makes sense. It's the mage's card. So I probably need to play it. By the way, in terms of lands, I don't have much to say. 9 and 8 forests, that looks to me very reasonable. Mammoth Growth. This is like one of the spells that might get dropped. King Harold's Revenge. This is very synergistic with so it's like a pump spell. I'm sorting the cards in a weird order. But by the way, Azar, there's a card. The first time that I played a pre-release, there was a card which actually is also at least getting played in historic in a way, which in Portuguese, if we translated the Portuguese name, it would get translated to naughty fairy, essentially. So there's this thing about names in other languages that are quite funny. I don't know who is responsible about translating Magic card names, but they have an interesting job before them. They should laugh a lot, probably. Gold Mod Champion, again, I need all the creatures that I can get. Kaya's Onslaught is one of the good combat tricks. Kaldheim Courser, it's an interesting one. I'll probably keep this. I'll keep. So out of these cards, and plus the Rune of Might. The thing about the Rune of Might is it interacts quite well with Kaya's Onslaught, which is great. But I need to drop 5 cards from here, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 removals, so I think I won't be able to drop Iron Verdict. Damn, that pick between Warhorn Blast and the white removal, White Prison, it was tricky. It was tricky. As for the rest of the deck, it's not looking that bad. So now I just need to decide if I'm short on removal, and since my opponent, if I'm trying to go wide, Iron Verdict will do very little. So I think I should prioritize combat tricks instead of hard removal like that. In terms of combat tricks, I only have Kaya's Onslaught and Mammoth Growth. So this will be sort of removals in my deck. Removal pieces. Valor of the Worthy, Rune of Might, as we were saying. Let me just close this. As we were saying, interacts quite well with our Kaya's Onslaught, but that's not a priority. So I will drop this. I need to drop 2 additional cards. Valor of the Worthy. I need to drop 1, probably. To be honest, I don't really like Divine's Gambit. Let me check what else I have. But since I need all the creatures that I can, two sorceries. This is target creature, sorcery speed. I think this card will be bad. Or it's still a combat trick, so it goes here. So I will actually remove the Divine's Gambit. I will drop this. So 41, we just need to drop an additional card. Let me just think a bit about this Valor of the Worthy. So I will equip it on a creature of mine. +1/+1, that's fine. It also enables me to double spell sometimes. And if my opponent trades, I get a flyer. Trades or chumps or whatever, I get a flyer. And flyers with the rest of the cards that I have are really good. Let's see if I want to play both. If I play both, Raven Wings might get dropped, which might be reasonable. Rune of Might might also get dropped. The thing about it will only give +1/+1. It will also give trample for sure, but I have other effects for that. Until the end of the turn. Rune of Might. Okay. Okay. Our deck is actually... I might drop a land in this sort of deck. Should I play 8/8 and 16 lands instead of 17? I want to be double spelling on turn 4 or something, so reaching land number 4 is quite important. It's quite important. So I will drop this. I will drop one of these because it's competing for other stuff. And I will keep this deck. So let's minimize this. T. Creature. Oopsie. T. Creature. Okay, so this is our deck. Altogether we have some low costed spells to enable our go white strategy, so we don't want typically to trade that much as that early. Fall of the Imposter as our Saga, Warhorn Beast, a few combat tricks, because we are looking to attack and to block, mostly attack a lot. Valor of the Worthy as a replaceable, as an aura that replaces itself, so that might be nice. And let's just check. So we have we have our humans, then we have warriors. Okay, this is useful to keep in mind because of our bloodline pretender, right? Other than that, instants 3, sorceries, artifacts we have 2, and 3 enchantments, so 5 altogether. This can also fetch our artifacts, is that right? Creature card. If you do, return target artifact or card from your graveyard to your hand. And it would return a Bloodline Pretender, or a Scorn Effigy, or a Rune, or a Valor, or our Fall of the Imposter. Exile a creature with greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. It might be worth it. We have 5 things to return. Even though I'm not really excited about returning a Scorn Effigy. But still, I think it might improve our deck. It's another warrior. Okay, whatever. I'm not really expecting it to matter much, so let's run this deck. Let's see how it goes. If we find ourselves in a place that getting enchantments or artifacts from the graveyard is good enough, that's something to consider. But altogether, none of those cards that we have are that useful, I think. Okay, this is a 2-lander. A 2-lander that I can use to foretell this on turn 2 and hope to draw cards, hope to draw lands. At least I have both colors of mana, so that is good enough for me, I think. I have a turn 3 play if I manage to get a land, but we are conditioned on that fact. Let us see what our opponent is playing. One weird thing is now you cannot really interact with bats. Maybe that's because of performance issues with mobile, but I'm not sure. You can interact with your stuff at least. Snow-covered forest, so we got there. I will play this, and Let's start foretelling. And for 3 mana, instant speed, +2/+1 to my creatures. That might be good. It might. It might. Okay. This is... now I can play my Snow-Covered Forest, play this, and my Code Spell Cleric, put a +1/+1 counter on whatever. I don't really care. This Elf Rogue, Human Cleric. Okay. Not really sure if I should play that, because my Bloodline Pretender will start growing the more humans I play. So I will actually play it this turn. If I draw a land, it will be awesome. So human, done. Why is that? Next turn, I can Horizon Seeker, Code Spell Cleric, put the counter probably not on my Bloodline Pretender, because I want to pump it further. I want to diversify my threats. I'm going wide. At least that's the hope for the deck. Now, since I did not draw a land, I will likely Sculptor of Winter, Code Spell Cleric. It will be a 3/3. I will put a +1/+1 counter on. I will need to tap this for mana, so I don't want to put the counters there. Do I want another? Yes. Let us diversify the threats. They are untapped, so if they attack now, they will tap one of my creatures, so I cannot block with both if they choose to boast, which they don't, which is fine. And they don't attack. So now we have 4 mana, but we can only spend 3. If we attack, for each creature you control and gains trample, it must be blocked this turn if able. So if I play a human, this guy will be a 4/4. 4/4. It would trade for 2 of their creatures. I don't really want that to happen. So I think I will keep on going wide right now. King's Herald, I don't want to spend this. This will be a 6/6. It's still killable by 2 of their creatures. I don't want that. I want to keep on going wide. Yeah. No attacks this turn. End the turn. That way, at some point I might be able to attack with virtually all my creatures because of Warhorn Blast and all of that. They're foretelling, and they're playing Orzhov. Okay, that might just be a sheep creature. Or one of these Doomscar Oracles. It's a possibility. You never know. Okay. They are most likely passing the turn. If only. If only I had enough mana. Yeah, this being sorcery speed. Jesus. No, not enough mana. If I attack with this, I could boast for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I could boast this guy, but I think it's more valuable as a 2/2, as a 3/2. But the good thing is next turn I might actually want to attack with all, leave the Sculptor of Winter behind to enable me to have essentially 5 mana, and 5 mana enables me to boast this creature and to Mammoth Growth, for example. Okay. How many Snowlands? 1. So, and it's Snowfield Sinkhole. Okay, weird name, sure. That's a weird name. Okay, my turn. Okay, now we have 6 mana. 6 mana is a lot. Oh, Jesus. I really feel tempted to just attack and leave Mammoth Growth and Warhorn Blast both open. 4, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. They will likely double block this guy. Like with this and with this, so that it only trades for 1. I think I will try it. Why not? Right? Why not? Math is for blockers, as Mitch typically says. So I will let them decide on blockers. But still, I have Mammoth Growth to protect one of my creatures. They are doing the blocks that we expected. Done. And they are tapped out. So this will be bonkers. So these won't trade, these won't trade, these won't trade, none will trade. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. 5 is not enough to protect this creature. This is an instant. Oh. Oh, this is only Snowlands. Why didn't you tap this snow-covered forest? Come on. Come on. Oh. Why? Why? Auto-tapper. Never trust the auto-tapper here. The auto-tapper works so badly with Snowlands and Foretell cards. It's so bad. So bad. Jesus. Oh, why? Why did you do that? They're not in a good position, no, but why? This could have been so good for, or even better for me, because I would still have my Bloodline Pretender. Don't trust the auto-tapper. You need to play MTG Arena like you play Magic Online. 2 cards. Okay, they will present me 2 great cards. I have my Mammoth Growth to kill their guy. Oh. It's all fine and good on launching a bunch of new cards into the game, but you need to ensure the basics there. So they are tapped out. This Sigrid can be quite good against my deck. Let me check my battlefield. It can, indeed. But I'm more scared about Firja. Oh, or I gave them Firja, sure. That was not my plan, but it also works. Okay. Now, we have some boast abilities that we can use. We can tap the Burning Rune Demon and attack with all. This would cost us 2 mana. We would have 4 mana left. Or we can simply remove their big flyer from the battlefield. Right? Or not. Or we can just play it slowly. Tap the creature. They won't want to attack with it on their turn. Let's do damage. The goal here is to hold off with my tricks. This is not really a trick, but the goal is to take care of all my opponent's creatures. So now I want to be tapping the Firja, most likely. Sure, all the lands so that I can attack with all again. I don't want them gaining life. There goes my trick. Cool. So next turn I can win the game most likely. I can tap their creature. If they play another creature, that's fine. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Sure, I still win. I don't need this guy. Don't need this guy. Oh, now you arrived to the party. Okay, let's just win this game. Oh, they gain life. Okay. Let's just put the shield so that we raise our defenses a bit. This way it's much harder for my opponent to take care of that. Okay, base 1, sure. Are they able to take care of all my creatures? Jesus, they are. Oh. Oh. This is going fine. So it prevents 1 damage. One damage. Okay, that's a combat trick. Let's see. Okay. +1/+1 double strike. They will gain 2 life. Go to 3. 3. Yep. That wins me the game. Let's try again. It will prevent the damage, so... Okay. That's first strike. First strike. It also gives first strike because of the double strike. Okay. So, a few punts. You're always expecting those during the first few games of a set, because your one is like assessing how the puzzle comes together. But okay, a win is a win. A win is a win. Okay. Next game. Who will we face now? It was a Norzov deck. It had some double spelling stuff. They had good removal. Their deck was actually quite good. Okay, this is like the kind of hand that I cannot keep, right? I have 9 mana. Oh, if I draw, I can still have Skornefgi on the battlefield, I guess. I will keep. This is kind of hand that you lose with, but let me just check something. Jesus, everyone is going crazy. I'm getting notifications from everywhere. Okay. Skornefgi. Do we want to ramp? Prioritize ramping? Probably. No. We still have a land to cast next turn, so the plan is to like triple spell next turn with my Sculptor, Scorn, and Code Spell Cleric. Okay, that's something. That's something. That is something. It's a 2/3. Oh, cool. Nice. So... Oh, it's only the second spell. Oh, I sequenced it wrong. I thought I would get still the +1/+1 counter, but I should have read the card, as usual. But yeah, it needs to be the second spell, precisely. So I should have went Skornefgi, Code Spell Cleric, and then Sculptor of Winter. That is fine. They might have something. I don't want to get... So I will double block. If their creature survives and my both die, it would be so bad. Okay, run amok. Run amok. It's a card, I guess. Run amok is a card. What a nice 2-for-1 opponent. This is a god. This is a human cleric. Bloodline pretender declaring human. Might be worth it. Yeah. Because I will get to... Now I get the counter. So it's a 4/4 now. I will attack with my creature. It has vigilance. Vigilance is not that bad. It's not that bad. What do you want to do, opponent? Okay. I'll equip this. Target permanent card with converted mana cost 2 or less from the graveyard, whatever. Okay. If I play this, it doesn't get me that far. Prevents one of the damage. So I think I should be playing opponent cast. Redain. That's a real cost for my opponent. Valkmira. And if I play it early, it can be quite good. Specifically in this kind of situation. This only deals 2 damage. This deals 2 damage. I won't attack. I am still on the defensive, but it helps me a bit. Okay, that now deals 3 damage. And 3 damage. Still damage. But now they will need to trade or to jump. Or not. Or not. Three, 4, 5. No lands. If I cast this will get a 6. This will be a 6/6. Prevent 2 damage from each source. 2 damage, 2 damage. If they double block, which they might. It's hey Mitch, no worries, no worries. You have your life, man. How's everything going? Or a 7/7, because it's 3 creatures, yes. The issue now is I don't have enough life to survive the 2 attackers. They're attacking me for 5 damage per turn, so that's a 3-turn clock. That's not a 3-turn clock now. 8, 7, 9, 10. So 10 damage. I'm at 3 now. All the flyers. So flyers are still good in limited, it seems. As expected. Some Mythgard. Cool, cool. Okay. No way on surviving. If I play this and this, I'll gain 2 life. That will get me to 5. That's exactly the amount of damage that they will deal to me. So, even though this shield is helpful against flyers, I might have played the god side. Maybe, just maybe. Okay. Let's cast it for the full amount. And now we lose the game. And now we lose the game. That's fine. Okay. There's nothing I can do. 5 damage. 5 damage. Okay. That was a magic game for you. Let me just grab a bit of tea and we'll resume. Actually, I had tea here. Okay, next game. Next game. One loss. One loss. Okay. Wild cards can be redeemed in your collection for cards of the same rarity. Yeah, the issue is you cannot actually redeem like mythic rares for rares or convert commons into rares. That would be awesome. Okay. So we have plenty of lands, we have some early plays. This end is more like what I typically like. So I will keep. The plan right now is to probably Story Seeker on 2. Not sure. Artifact and enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So I probably want to cast this before Bloodline Pretender. It might open up the possibility for a double spell turn. Like, if I do this right now, I can start Heim Courser next turn and then Sarulf's Packmate and Bloodline Pretender on the same turn, which looks nice. Target creature gains haste, so if they have... Okay, against this deck, they might have the 3 mana 3/2 haste creature, and if I don't commit anything to the board, it might be quite bad. Okay, that's a 2/2, that gives haste. This is a life linker, so I will gain some life against this deck and trade. Sure. Now they cast whatever. Their own Story Seeker. Okay, now the issue is we need to make at least one additional land drop. That would be great for us here. Because, again, it would enable us to double spell next turn. With Bloodline... not exactly, because of the way we did things. They're trying to force trades like hell. If I draw land, I'll have Sarulf's Packmate. Let me just put some music because it finished the playlist. Okay. Now we're into business. I won't block right now. I'm trying to go wide, opponent. Please let me go wide. Oh, Clarion Spirit. That's good. That's no land. That's no land, so no double spelling this turn. Okay. But this is actually nice. Putting a +1/+1 on my creature makes it an effective blocker, disincentivizing them from attacking with Clarion Spirit and Story Seeker. They might still attack with both, but unless they have combat tricks. Oh, there's the third land drop. No, come on. I need to block that. They probably have Run Amok or whatever. Run Amok. So that makes sense. But at least they did not use the combat trick. Submit 0. That's also not a land. I'm getting screwed. Elf, wolf. Where are my humans? I need to put something on the board. The issue is it's probably something to get to chump or to block their creature, and that's not great. Bloodline Pretender can grow huge. This might still be enough to disincentivize my opponent from doing weird stuff. I will get 2 elves on the battlefield from the Elder Leaf Mender next turn, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it... come on. Come on. Of course I want that out of the way. Where are my lands? The only option I have is foretelling this card. Oh, Jesus. What's going on? Deck, come on, please work, deck. Okay, can't do a thing. They're almost at 30 life, which is really bad for me. There's a land. There's a land. Now I cannot double spell either way. Well, I could play both of these. The issue is I don't have a way to drop this enchantment from my creature. Oh well. I also have Kaya's Onslaught open. Okay. At least that's a land for next turn. And a Code Spell Cleric. Okay, okay. Let's try to stabilize. I'm at 10, so against an aggro deck. But we're getting through the mid game. And my opponent seems to not have much. So they're not attacking. We will be able... If we attack, we can save our creature with 2 ways. I will leave another blocker behind, so I can do some damage. Five mana. Yeah, you become bigger, sure. Very useful, Bloodline Pretender. But since this is the second spell, I get a 4/3 on the battlefield, which is an effective blocker for my opponent's creatures. They don't seem to have much. So in a situation like this, I feel tempted on playing my Valkmira's Protector Shield. But first, if I attack with both, they're not that scared about that. So I will attack with a Trampler, just a Trampler. Flying Vigilance. To be honest, Redain can be great here. So if I play Redain, I cannot double... Well, I can put my foretell my Scorn Effigy if I play Redain. But if I play my Valkmira Protector Shield, let's try Redain. Why? Because it's a 2/3 with Vigilance. So I can attack and still have it able to block my opponent. Yeah, I'll foretell this instead. Just because that way I can, for 0 mana, have King Herald's Revenge, like make one of my creatures huge, like my Redain. I can... Oh, Jesus, okay. Like the Redain that I don't have. Okay. Go wide is just too good against aggro. I got scared at some point. I got scared. But we managed it. We definitely managed it. Okay. For everyone watching the stream, first of all, thank you very much for joining. I hope that you're enjoying what you're seeing. I hope that you're enjoying the new set, the Kaldheim. It certainly looks good. It's quite complex, both the drafting and the gameplay. A lot filled with interesting decisions. I feel like there's still a lot of variance, just piggybacking on our discussion previously, but there's a lot of value being driven by your actual decisions. So, let us play the next game, 2-1 right now. Not a bad start, indeed. But we're aiming for better. Oh, so many lands. Still, I have some early plays. My deck can make use of the lands. 3 or more permanents you control. The creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until the end of the turn. Okay. 3 or more? That's way too much. But I will keep. I have some early plays, so no reason not to. No reason. Another land. Great, thank you very much. Let's foretell. At least Sarulf's is like an engine for me to draw more cards. Black, sure. Skip the turn. Okay, this is better when I have a creature on the battlefield, but it will work great with my Sarulf, my Rune of Might, and all of that. So let's draw a card. Fill in our hand. Okay, that's not playable right now, but it will be. And for that I'm happy. No permanents, right? Yes, no permanents. That's cool. That's Warrior. I feel tempted on killing their creature right now, while I can, and while they're tapped out. And that will still enable me to do some stuff. Okay, target creature you control, and target creature you don't control. They fight. Fight. Yeah. Let's do some damage. Damage. Oh. The Sarulf's packmate will get even bigger than the Sarulf. Than Sarulf. Sarulf, I guess it's a 3/3 or something. Let me check on the chat. Oh. Today I have two computers, so Sarulf. Oh, not that. No, like that. Card, Sarulf. So, card, Sarulf, realm, ether. 3/3. The base, of course. Its base is 3/3, but that does not mean it's actually bigger than that. Okay, I have a bunch of lands. Let's draw a card. I know I'm piling up my Sarulf's packmate, really asking for to get screwed, but well, you need to live life to its fullest. This guy has Menace, but it will get killed next turn unless they play something bigger than that. Oh, nice. Nice. You realized it. I want to be attacking with Story Seeker next turn. It's the most valuable, so it deals 2 damage, same as Beskir Shieldmate, but since this will kill whatever creature they play, in theory I should be able to attack with it. Okay, they did not play a creature. Graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until the end of the turn. So many lands. Come on. Okay. We're probably winning this game. We're probably winning. Cardor Vicious Return. Yeah, sure. So I have 3/3, so whatever. Yeah. You're dead. You're dead. Cool. Cool. I actually feel in the mood to get some inspiration. Let me check. Gold tier 2. They laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at them because they're all the same. Kurt Cobain. Really interesting. That's interesting. So I guess don't be afraid of being different. Because, yeah, and there's... in the article that I was gonna present today, but it was delayed at least 1 week, from Paulo Vitor Damo da Rosa, he mentions there a bias that's like basically it's herd mindset. It's all about herd mindset. You might be thinking, or a lot of people typically think the same thing. It's not that it's correct, right? Like I don't want to get this too much political, but I guess well, I guess it's my point of view. Like, there's a lot of people voting on Trump because it's like everyone incentivizes the other, and there's this information cascade among people, and they stop caring about having a decent, honorable politician ruling the country. Hello, Elsa. They start like, okay, but he manages business. Oh, he says what everyone is thinking. It's enough to have a few people saying something like that, because that's like a virus. It spreads, and at some point you just see that reality. You don't even think why it might be wrong. The human brain is full of biases, and those put us in problems for sure. Okay. Either way, I don't want to play the Cold Spell Cleric this early. I want to against a deck like this, they will likely foretell something this turn if they have untapped mana. Then I will foretell my Scorn Effigy and play it paired with Cold Spell Cleric at least on turn 3, or probably with Gold Maw Champion. Okay, that's a flyer. That's a flyer, opponent. It's still too early to spend mana foretelling Warlord Blast, so we can keep. Let's go. Karfell Harbinger. Okay, I won't be attacking. But I might do something with this Blizzard Brawl next turn. Okay, they want to use this guy's ability, sure. To loot. You have too many lands, opponent. Oh, those are some pretty sleeves. Really pretty. Rune of Sustenance. So it has lifelink? Sure. It will get killed? For sure. Blizzard Brawl. Doomscar Oracle. Yeah, I guess that's the turn, right? Blizzard Brawl. Sure. They still gain 1 life, but lifelink on a 1-powered creature is not that good. I will attack with both. I really don't care. They will block 1. Probably. Unless they're afraid of a combat trick. Which... I don't know. I might have, opponent. I might. No. So let's keep on setting up my board. If I could foretell 2 cards, I would, but there's no need. And I couldn't. That's probably the biggest issue. So I could get greedy and use King Haralf's Revenge. I won't get greedy. I will use Doomscar's Oracle and Cold Spell Cleric. Do I want to put a counter on one of my creatures? I want to. So I will play this right now. It's better than trying to bluff a combat trick or whatever. Gain some life. Yes! 4 life. Yes! Okay, now the team attacks. Actually, I won't attack with Scorn Effigy. Just trying to push my opponent into blocking one of the relevant creatures. Okay. Draw 3 cards. That's good. That's good. Oh, I thought they blocked and then used the ability, but that's fine. Discard a card. I guess this is the worst card. Oh, I don't guess, I know for sure. It's the worst card among the two, for sure. Okay, opponent. What are you thinking about doing? You have 3 mana open. 3 mana. You're looking to my creature. Bound in gold. Okay, I cannot attack. Right? Yeah, so I cannot post. Which is unfortunate. But it's fine. I put the counter here to protect it a bit better from removal spells. But it's fine. It's fine. So I will put this in one of my creatures. So snow makes nothing in this scenario. I want to be attacking with these two. They're not blocking. Let's foretell. Okay, I expect a big full-on attack next turn, in which I win the game. Unless my opponent is able to commit many things to the board. I have nothing on my hand to be discarded. That's also one of the advantages of foretell. It makes cards not prone to getting discarded. So now they have a bunch of stuff. If I attack with all, and they like block, 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 I will either creature like if they block like this to be able to kill my creature, mine will survive. Then the rest will be shump blocks, and Codespell Cleric will go through. I think it's worth it. Either way, what am I waiting for, right? If they double block, they're more or less doomed. Okay. My Trampler creature survives. This won't go well for you, opponent. Unless they have a counter spell. That's the issue with cards like this. At least they don't have the counter spell foretold. Like the... I don't remember the name, I still don't know the names by heart, but... Oh, you did not. You did not. Still, I'm in a pretty good shape. What can my opponent do? A 3/3? Mills 4 cards. Oh. Yeah, Mitch, they exiled my Redain. And now they will be able to play it next turn or something. Sarulf's Packmate, let's draw a card. Oh no, not foretell. Okay, whatever. Now it's done. So if I attack with all, it doesn't do me that much. Jesus, I was gonna play this, because I would have 2 mana to do whatever with my next draw. Since I cannot do that, because I misclicked. And I need something on the defensive. No attacks. End the turn. No need on playing the planes. I can play it next turn. What did they exile? Redain, of course. And Roger, Recruiter. Jesus. That's the issue of having bombs in your deck. your opponent. This is a nice card. It's on the low spectrum of bombs, but it's still useful. It's like a B+. Yeah. Yeah. Another one. I'm losing steam. I cannot lose steam. Okay, let's draw a card. That's a land. I don't want more lands. Okay. 3/4. If I attack with both. What card do they have exiled with this? Doomscar, Oracle? If I attack with both, like if I attack with these two and they double block this, I will get them to 2. So they're likely to block, and I won't do a thing since it prevents damage. I'm not liking where I'm at right now. This was going well. What happened? King Narfi's betrayal is quite good. Quite good. Even more when they mill a good card. Another Bound in Gold. Sure, okay. Now this is everything we have to work with. And having them discarding this King Harald's Revenge was actually pretty bad for me. They're looking into their graveyard for some reason. Attacking for boast, right? To your hand. And they have plenty of mana to cast whatever they want to return from the graveyard. So if I need to double block, essentially. Triple block, actually. I need to triple block. But if I triple block, they kill 2 of my creatures, one of them leaves. If they return a card, a creature, they will play it. Do I have other payoffs for go wide? Not really. Not really. But I still need powerful creatures. Yeah, I won't block. They will... Okay, they will boast now, I guess. Yeah. They're boasting. They're boasting about their feats. Oh. I'm fine about that. That's not an impactful card. So if I attack with all, they will like eat one of my creatures, block, take 3, take 4, and I get 2 creatures. See why the shield is good? See, it's blocking me from doing whatever. And now they will boast and boast and boast. They have other creature here. Other creature. Now I could double block and kill it. Unless this is a combat trick, but it's not that likely with this kind of deck. Damn, the splashing. Okay, maybe maybe they're playing that just for snow. Yep, you're boasting, but you're dead. I hope. Okay, that was a 1-for-1. That's how I like it. Oh, that will gain them some life. which I don't like. Now we're getting into the very late game, and I don't like that, because they're recovering, and they're recovering fast. Okay, they draw one. They draw one. So there's still some discard floating around. Be careful about that. Bloodline Pretender. This late? I don't expect it to do much. Bird. Because of Augury Raven. Sure. That was something. Now who's going wide, they ask. Now who's going wide? Yeah, and I only draw lands. 15 cards, and I only draw lands. So again, if I attack with all eat, or yes, eat. Okay, this is a losing proposition. We are more or less dead in this game. Pass on to the attackers. Okay. Yeah, we're at 22, they're at 5, but they're fully in control. So if I let it go through, they will get this creature, 4 mana, plus 4 mana. Yes, they have. They have plenty. If I don't block, they will have 3 creatures. They will be at 8 life. 3 creatures block all my more than 1 power creatures. So these guys can bring themselves back every single time. Okay, pass to blockers, sure. Kama's Faithful. I will block like this. Now my only hope is like to use the advantage of in life total. Narfi. Do they have enough? 1, 2, 3. Of course they have. Of course they have. And it's so late in the game. Jesus, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I don't know what's going on. Okay, you boast, you get a flyer. Yeah. See how restraining this shield is? Now I feel it. Now I know how it hurts. I think I'm dead. I'm as good as dead. Human. Not that I have any, but human it is. No, I don't think I can win this game. I will mulligan, like concede next turn, most likely. But it's fine. It is fine. They have 2 flyers. Why is this guy a 2/3? Okay, zombie and snow. Yes. Zombie and snow, okay. That's a 5/5. You tap my creature. You attack. You get me dead. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so this is a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 16. I got 1, sure. I know they have flyers, but I'm dead as I can be. Not even the okay. Not even a combat trick would save me now. Okay, good game. It was a good game, opponent. Damn! They turned it around, like, very well indeed. It was an interesting game. I will need to review it, because I'm not sure if I could have them dead at some point. Okay, we're 3-2 right now. Let's try to make this a positive, at least. So this game is to have a positive win rate, ensure it, right? Let's see. So this is Seraph, pretty bad boy with all these arrows on his back, and he's all fine. All fine. Just roaming around. Yeah, I'm big. Okay. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Okay. It's a hand that enables us to... Okay, I actually don't want to play that on turn 1. For obvious reasons. It's still a 2-2. Because a 2-2 Vigilance, actually putting the counter on it, it's not that bad. I will play this, because most likely I will be able to attack into whatever they do, or they don't do anything. That means this turn I can Sculptor and Code Spell Cleric, put the counter attack for 3. Actually, probably not. I think I won't do this turn, and I'll explain the reason why. This creature, it's made for trading. It's made for trading with the opponent's creatures, right? So investing on it, a +1/+1 counter, it doesn't look that good. So this way I can understand, for example, okay, that's bad. I was gonna put the counter on that creature. So if I play this and name humans, I can double spell. Still, their creature is quite concerning for me. I think I will be able to double spell afterwards, so let's start growing our Bloodline Pretender. Oh, I confused elves. So, either way, let's put this on this guy, and I need to find a way to take care of that creature, which won't be easy, because it has that touch. So, it might require a bad trade for me. This card is quite good, and it's uncommon. So forget about well, the poison counters can do something, but it's not the best thing ever. Okay, you can create shapeshifters, but they don't have that touch. I need like the double strike spell or something. I still have more humans than other stuff, right? I think so. Do I want to commit the Valor of the Worthy? Not really. None of my creatures will trade. So no need on playing the land right now. Because if we draw a spell that requires the land, we can just play it next turn. Still, if I get a card drawing spell, it might be helpful to play the land this turn, so that next turn I can play another land. Nothing I can do. Take 2, opponent. Take 2. That Fin Bearer. It's really concerning. Yeah, you grow. I will attack. This is a good trade. Well, it's not really a good trade for them. Do they have a trick? No, they don't. Thank God. But I get a flyer, and I'm going wide. So I guess that's not that bad. It's not really a 2-for-1 for me. That's also a flying that neutralizes my creature. So I'm not happy. I'm not really happy, and I'm drawing lands. And I'm only drawing lands. That's great, just great. No profitable attacks, ship the turn. What can we do? I know that our... What is that? What is that? That's huge. Becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. 6/5 trample. Okay. Okay. Another land. Jesus. I'm... What's going on? What's going on? Please. Okay. What can we do? Again, using the knowledge that we discussed previously, let's think. We want to... Now we can probably... Okay. Not if you do that. If you do that, it's so bad for me. I need to like block with all my creatures to get something. Jesus. Okay, so I need to deal 5 damage to that to get it killed. Oh, it's so bad. It's like a 3-for-1 or something. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, forget it. I will let it go through. I will let it go through. Another one. Or did you get that from the graveyard? No, you got 2. Jesus. If you give that touch to this, and given that it has trample, it's very good. It's very good. Or at least I draw a card out of the deal, right? So let's pump on one of my flyers, just because. If I control 3 or more snow permanents, which I do not. I don't even know if I have 3 or more snow permanents on my deck, to be honest. That doesn't do much. Whatever. Let's ship the turn, I guess. I don't think I have outs. I think we'll do 3-3 today. And that's just life. But after we do 3-3, we will review our draft and understand if we should have played black. Once again, I think that's one of the most useful things to improve in limited. Okay, you're attacking with that because that will trade with whatever. That guy has trample, but that does not do much for me. 6. That's 8 damage. That gets me to 6. Oh, I won't block. I won't block right now. 6 life, it's still greater than 0. Okay. This is the best I can do, I guess. So I can attack with my flyers. Both? Can I? Yes, I can. Because I will have Blizzard Brawl to fight the Battle Mammoth. So this guy will take 2 guys from my opponent's side. Which is not that bad. Now, should I actually do that? This will get back to being a 1-1. Yeah, I guess you get a card out of the deal. Okay, at least we survive. For a little while. So they're attacking for 5, they have green mana, so they might have a pump spell. But if they do, I don't think I can do much either way. So I won't do anything. I will just take the damage. Two. Oh, Jesus. Is this bomb? This is bomb tribal, right? They're playing bomb tribal. Oh, that's a nice effect. And a bit... Okay. Okay. So... Yep. This wasn't even a good game. My opponent just went crazy. With all the bombs and good cards altogether, right? Karma is this Nexus, like if you get into the late game, can be quite good, but Battle Mammoth, Karma, like dream deck to finish the day, right? Okay. What we have right now? If Arena collaborates with me, please. Waiting for the server. Okay, we went 3-3. It is fine. Our deck was not the best thing ever, but or at least it did not feel like it. To be honest, this is like what I expect. The average Selesnia deck probably is a bit better than this, but I don't expect it to be much better. Of course, the uncommon is quite good. Oh, so look, there's free gold. Don't forget, if you play Arena, there's free gold today for you to get. As usual, before we get to the retrospective, let's... Oh, I could have pressed that to open 10. We just open a few packs. Furious Retribution is Furious Retribution, I mean. This J reads as an Y. I mean. But translating letters from Portuguese to English is a bit tricky sometimes. Furious Retribution, okay. This is a very good card for your limited deck, for sure. More. Fall of the Imposter, we played with one of those. Birgi, creatures you control can boast twice. So around the boast deck, it can be quite good, but still, the Ornn is the side that you are typically playing because it's just so much card advantage. Drawing 2 cards per turn. If this will incentivize you to have a cheap or a deck that favors low drops, of course. So that you can double spell each turn after you get the Arnfell, but it's just too good. It's just too good. Rally the Ranks, not a great card altogether. It could do some work in a deck like ours, but you need to go wide enough for it to be justifiable. Kolvori, God of Kinship. Okay, this is one of the gods that you typically don't want to play. It's like it's centered around legendary creatures and that kind of stuff, so no. You might have a few, like the Signpost Uncommons are legendary, so you might be playing those. Graven Lore it's like a B- or a B. Because drawing 3 cards, it can be quite good. In a deck that is able to get to this stage of the game, it can be quite good. I'm getting a ton of uncommon and common wild cards, but those are not the best thing. Okay, if I knew I would get a rare wild card, I would have spoken sooner. Feed the Serpent is quite good removal. Cosima is a bomb, so it has a lot of text. I won't read it right now, but you can use its effect to get paid off later, later in the game. Like you exile it early, you just accrue +1/+1 counters, and then you get it to the board like a huge creature. The thing is, you should not get greedy with this card. On the other side, Yamenkel. It's easy to crew, it's efficient, and it's actually these two sides actually complement each other. So if you're getting mana screwed, you play one, like the Yamenkel. If you get mana flooded, you play Cosima, because you'll make a bunch of mana of land drops. So altogether, an interesting rare, for sure, a bomb that you should first pick, more often than not. Crippling Fear, -3/-3. There's a lot of rats. This one is quite good because you typically save 1 or 2 of your creatures. Typically 2, I would say, since there's a bunch of cards with 2 types like this: Elf Rogue, Elf Warrior, whatever. So you see the pattern. It's interesting to review the rares here because you don't typically see them during gameplay, so you can at least prepare for when you see a rare, since they have such walls of text. It can be a bit daunting. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each snow land you control, so this is essentially a card that you should go heavy on snow. And if you go heavy on snow and pay like 8 for this, it's already good. But if you pay like 6, which requires you to have 6 snow lands, so specifically snow lands, and 6 on the battlefield, it's very hard. For you to get 3, I would say, you already need to get pretty heavy on snow. So Cyclone Summoner is a very good card for giants. Jesus, like all your giants survive, and changelings, so you need to be careful about the fact that you might be playing against a changelings deck, but it's so good. So last pack. In Search of Greatness. In Search of Greatness, beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest converted mana cost among other creatures you control without paying its mana cost. If you don't, scry 1. Okay, so you can prepare your next draw so that you get the cards that you want into your hand. But it just helps you to curve out, but it's still a 2-drop, so it's weird. It's just weird. You can play like 2-3 drops on turn 3, that's good, but I think it's just awkward, this card, to be honest. Okay, those are our rares for today. So let's see if we have the draft available. We do. So, full screen, desktop. There we go. 17 lands, Kaldheim, so this was our draft. So, as agreed, we will review what we did. Unfortunately, there's still no pack 1 information. Great Hall of Startheim, so this... what we will be looking more in this draft review will be, were there reasons for us to either play red or play black at some point? More obvious than what we ended up playing. So this is pack 2, we picked an Ingarun Highs. Did we play this card? No, we did not, because we were not playing this sort of deck. Crush the Weak might be an interesting pick here too, but Nico Defines Destiny is way too much of a build around. I wouldn't... This is like a reward for Azorius and for Fortel in specific. So no, Eyesight Troll it can be quite interesting if you go deep into snow. Boreal Outrider also fits well in a snow deck. Probably it's a better pick than Kaya's Onslaught. Still, Kaya's Onslaught is it's an interesting combat trick, but there's instant speed removal, even the feed the serpent and all of that. So Blizzard Brawl. So actually, if we pick the Boreal Outrider, this Blizzard Brawl and this Blizzard Brawl, we would be a bit more incentivized into getting into snow, and probably that's a good thing. Fall of the Imposter. This is an average payoff for Selesnia. Can do some work, but it's not the best thing ever. Still, out of this pack, I believe it's the best card right now. Okay, Replicating Ring is being taken before Fall of the Imposter, probably because of snow, but Bloodline Pretender, that's fine. Okay, let's take a look at the wheel. What was picked? Struggle for Scamfar. This is a green removal. This is good green removal, to be honest. So we were competing for green here, snow green, but still green. And as we see, there's no green here. There's also no white, but the pack did not have white. There was Nico Defies Destiny, but whatever. Snowfield Sinkhole. If I was playing white, I might have taken this. Wings of the Cosmos. It's reasonable. It's C to C minus. It's probably C minus. But still. It can protect your creatures, the creatures that you boast, for example, which might be helpful. Because it's cheap, right? Yeah, 1 mana. Okay. Now, Elder Leaf Mentor, this card it works well with elves, it works well with Selesnia, of course, with Go Wide. So I think it was a good pick. Someone picked Iron Verdict, so we were competing for, and Boreal Outrider, but that I would expect. I would expect it to be picked. Okay. Other than that, from the pack, I also don't see a better creature. At least we weren't competing with many people for our colors. Let's just look into pick 12. Here, some black cards. Yeah, during pack 1 we were seeing our black cards being swept away from us. So I guess it is fine. Story Seeker over Code Spell Cleric. Yeah, that is fine. Probably they were playing some dwarves, but if they were playing some dwarves, Cole might be worth a pick early in pack 1, but I'm not sure. Starheim Courser. So we're seeing green, we're seeing white. Someone picked white here. And green, Sculptor of Winter. Yeah, so something interesting to keep in mind is also, at least for a few picks, trying to keep on my mind the highest picks from those packs. This Sculptor of Winter is not the best thing ever, but untapping a Snowland on a snow heavy deck again can be quite good. And it has some combos with Frost, whatever, the enchantment that enchants a land makes it snow, and when you tap it, you get a mana of any color. Valor of the Worthy, this was a late pick. Doomscar Oracle is nice. No black here. That was left. Okay, pack 2. Let's actually just jump into the wheel. King Harold's Revenge. So this is a bit clunky. This card is a bit clunky because it's sorcery speed. It still makes your creature it's required to block, so it can, but you might be getting yourself into a 2-for-1 into a 1-for-2 situation. Like you're killing one of the opponent's creatures, but you're losing one or maybe more, but you're losing a lot in the process. Still, it gains trample, so it might also be a way to finish the game. Okay. Mammoth Growth. Of course, red black. Were picked. Targrid's Shadow. Draugr Recruiter is actually quite good. And way down. So all the good black cards were picked from this pack. And we picked a card that we weren't going to play, but still, we would be competing with a lot of players for black, I believe. Return Upon the Tide makes sense. Comas Faithful makes sense. In terms of green, someone picked Horizon Seeker, I guess the only green card. A lot of white, but someone picked. I think I'm seeing black being taken quite highly. I'm seeing blue being taken. I'm seeing red being taken. I think we kind of ended up on our colors, but this does not imply that we were that our deck was good. Okay, this is a late card, but still, if you don't have any hopes on double spelling, this is just meh. On double spelling. So blue. Okay. Pack 3 is not the most relevant one, but let's also look into the pick, the wheel, because this pack, it's typically people use it to round, and that's how I use it, at least, to round off the deck, round off the key missing pieces. Like, do I need more 2-drops? Do I need more creatures? Do I need a bit of removal or combat tricks or whatever? So blue is being taken highly, probably. Some black. Yeah, competing for black would be hard. I might have wasted 1 or 2 picks because of some confusion that I was making. I think I wasted a few picks on that. And the thing about drafts is it could have went completely different. Here I wanted to pick a Mammoth Growth. Okay, not that bad, not that bad. So, that's all for today. Altogether we went 3-3. That's an improvement on Thursday. Still, our deck was not the best thing ever. I think we navigated the deck reasonably well. There were a few hiccups in there, but still, I think it was also interesting to understand a bit more the intricacies of playing this format. So if you enjoyed it and you want to get notified the next time I go live, which is likely tomorrow, feel free to follow me. You can also find the links for my socials like in the chat and in the about section and whatever, if you want to get in touch and discuss something, even propose a topic for review next Sunday, be my guest. Right now, to close the day, let us raid AG Magic. Yes, AG Magic is a very good player. It's really interesting. I really enjoy watching his stream. He's typically found playing some constructed, and he has been participating in some tournaments. So let's go there. Say hi, and don't forget to refresh your page once you're there, so that we so that you keep on his stream. And see you next time. Thank you for joining. See you next time.